Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be talking about the Vikings. So we don't really know what the Viking kingdoms and tribes borders looked like, but we do know they lived in small village communities controlled by a jarl. If one tribe wanted something, they would go get it by raiding the others. But at some point, the Vikings got together and said, let's make a boat, and started raiding the coasts and rivers of Europe. Here's a map I found of Viking expansion after their first raid on Linden's farm. Linden? Lindisfarne? The Vikings started pillaging all over Europe, but where I would like to point out was England around 1870 when the Vikings invaded North England and took all of England, bar Wessex, the later unifier of England. It was cold. Really cold. The Vikings mostly lived off fish, serve a day, family, deer. They were deer. And very resilient crops like oats. There were a lot of tundras, snowy forests, and mountains in the Viking homeland, but in the places like the Danelaw, Viking England, which was established in the late 9th century, was very hilly and good for crops. During the raiding of the Viking era, many riches were brought back to the Viking homeland, mostly silver, which made Viking families very rich and allowed the trading of the silver and pelts to bring even more riches back to the Vikings. In short, they had all the money. The Vikings only had one type of coin, the silver penningar, or penny. Most people valued coins by their weight. Coins were just an easy way to carry your silver around. Now there's the basic Viking longships, which allowed the raiding and trading of Europe that were so common from the 9th to 11th century. The Vikings were also skilled at crafting swords, axes, shields, and textiles. Here's a bit of a random point I found. They made hair combs. The Viking social structure was mostly equal. It was led by a jarl, and everyone else was mostly farmers, raiders, and traders. The children would help with chores and such. Their religion is well known in modern day with gods like Thor, Loki, and Odin, made known by a marvel. Although their religion is much more complicated than it seems, and I couldn't do it justice here in this video. The clothes Viking wore were pretty The clothes Vikings wore were pretty stereotypical to what we imagine. They wore clothes not only for practical reasons, but the same reasons we do as well. To be more attractive to the opposite sex and or to look quote-unquote cool. It started when the Vikings went over to England to raid Lindisfarne. This started the chain of events that changed history forever.